Hey, what's going on? This is Jake with Walk-Squawk. Sunday night open. We're heading for another potential volatile week. Seems like, definitely the theme here. So let's dive in what's going to be driving tonight's market action and what to expect in the coming days. As we open tonight in grains, we're kind of looking for a two-sided trade to slightly lower here. There was some bullish momentum from weather reports and CFTC data on Friday, but President Trump's recent comments on tariffs are adding uncertainty to the mix. Trump's aggressive stance on tariffs is certainly going to be weighing on the market here. He mentioned the potential for secondary tariffs on both Iran and Russia, which could affect global markets, including grains. And don't forget, we got the highly anticipated USDA prospective plannings and grain stock report tomorrow at 11 Central. Historically, these reports can cause significant price movements, with July corn futures averaging, a 3% move, and beans and wheat seeing around 1.5% move as well. So there's going to be some movement to come here when we see those numbers. Moving to Brazil, the first season corn harvest is slightly behind the average pace, which could add some uncertainty to supply expectations. Now, let's talk about Trump's latest comments. On Friday, it was reported that Trump was pushing his advisors towards a more aggressive approach on tariffs, with plans to announce reciprocal tariffs on April 2nd. He's even considering universal tariffs on most imports, despite calls from his teams for a more measured approach. He's also has his open negotiations deals with continued countries to avoid tariffs, but those discussions will come after the April 2nd announcement. Then on Sunday, Trump doubled down on his stance, expressing frustration with Russian's President Putin, and threatening secondary tariffs on Russian oil if Moscow obstructs efforts to resolve the Ukraine conflict. He warned Iran about potential bombing and secondary tariffs if Tehran doesn't agree to a nuclear deal. But Iran isn't directly engaging with the U.S. while under sanctions, although indirect talks are still ongoing. Looking at the grain markets, managed money has been active. They were bigger sellers than expected last week in corn, meal, beans, and bean oil. The only market they bought was HRW wheat. They remain net shorts all markets except corn, with their biggest exposure being in soy meal and HRW and HRS wheat. It's believed that they even sold even more corn and wheat since the report was out Tuesday. Because kind of looked at that Wednesday, Thursday action, but Friday we kind of bounced back there on a little bit of probably some of the short term um, uh, short covering. So a lot to watch these coming days with weather, geopolitical tensions, and the USDA reports setting the stage for our summer spring planting. Could be a volatile week in the grain markets, so make sure you're prepared for the movement and keep an eye on the latest news for updates. That's your Sunday night update. Stay tuned for more and make sure to subscribe for all the latest market insights. Thank you.